The following presentation contains content that some individuals may find sensitive or distressing.
Welcome back, listeners, and thank you for joining us. My name is Josh. I am the CEO and founder of Dungeon Studios. I just wanted to thank all of you for all of the support we have received thus far. Today, we have something special cooked up for you. If you are enjoying our content, don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button, drop us a comment, or join our Discord. Now, without further ado, please enjoy tonight's episode, Echoes and Enigmas, Goliath's Midnight Meanderings.
Well, look who's joining me. Come now, don't be shy, and keep up. I don't like keeping my mistress waiting. And yes, I know you're listening. I am one of the few that know about Alabaster's little audience. Of course, he isn't just muttering to himself in a corner. I'm sure you've been curious as to my goings-on, my little errands I run whilst you listen to the patrons' tales. I'm seeking 3 souls at the behest of my mistress, and our first one... Ooh, look here, just over this ridge. Oh, you don't see what I do? Well, then let me lend you my perspective. The Machine God.
The machine god hungers. We march into its waiting maw, step by step, in neat little lines, through mazes of twisted iron, blinking red lights, burning our retinas from above. The cracked pavement abrasive against the soles of our feet. The air holds the memory of ash and smoke, though the fires they spawned from burned out long ago. It brings stinging tears to the eye as they roll down our cheeks, and the salty taste of them falls upon our tongues. We know it's the closest any of us will come to drinking water again. It is in these moments I think of the oceans we will never see, and of the brave and cruel explorers that once sailed them, and of cooler, cleansing rains. It arrives as a sterile fact that I've forgotten the source of. I know they existed, and I know they were real, yet I feel as though they belong to a dream. The thought of people traveling the world is as foreign a concept to me as the idea of clean water. It's the sort of thing you might say to a neighbor ahead of you in line, perhaps the one behind, and expect him to laugh. What could they do but laugh? What could you do but join them? But not for long. Laughing means you aren't walking as quickly as you could. And the machine god hungers. We can hear its call through the labyrinth, beckoning us to crawl or climb or shuffle through the fallen concrete megastructures, stepping carefully through fields that grow only mines, to do whatever it takes to reach it. Its claxons are deafening, and they sound regardless of time of day. It does not care for the passing hour, for neither do we. Why should we, when we cannot see the sky? It is time to sleep when we are exhausted, and then it is time to walk. These are the only distinctions to our routine we know. Our pilgrimage goes on for many cycles. Several die and must be carried. An old man who claps from starvation is my own burden. My forward neighbor carries a bag filled with parts of one who wasn't careful enough in the fields. My backwards neighbor's lucky. She has no one to burden her. Dead, alive, young, old, intact, or explosively dismembered. It doesn't matter. The machine god hungers. Our flesh will do. Early into our sleeping time, the klaxons blare. They're growing louder. And soon I know we will find the altar. What we will do there, I don't know. I've forgotten. I don't know if any of us remember, but I'm too afraid to ask. Not afraid that they won't know, or this'll turn out to be pointless, but afraid they will. The dull eyes that greet me when we stop make that seem unlikely. Still, superstition then perhaps is what keeps me from asking. It isn't a real concern so long as I don't vocalize it. Allow me at least this comfort, to think that it is pointless, that this will amount to nothing, that there is no purpose. It is self-pitying, yes. It's like picking at a scab, scratching at the itch of dry skin, painful and pleasurable in equal measure. We sleep, we wake, and we walk. We're getting close. The labyrinth opens up. The metal and concrete pulls away to reveal a circle, a hub of sorts, a small clearing. More people are filling in from other directions. They look tired like us. They are carrying their dead. They have no food or water to spare. They march toward the machine god to sate its hunger and worship at its altar. Same as us. Our common purpose unites us, so we need no words. We sleep that night together as a community, and in the morning we march together down the only path no one arrived from, deeper into this jumbled mess. North, perhaps? It hardly matters the direction. It is as meaningless as time in our prison. The machine god's roar now is so loud that it drowns out even thought. It snatches what little mind was left to us, allowing us only a small reprieve when it is time to rest. It is here I sit now, waiting for the time to come when I am no longer myself. It won't take much longer. Another cycle or two, perhaps. Then I won't need to think at all. I will only need to prostrate myself before the machine god and hope my meager offering of flesh will sate its hunger. The roaring starts anew. We pick ourselves up, we gather the deceased, and we continue on. Who were we before this? It doesn't matter, for we are born anew. The machine god hungers, and we have arrived. It is majestic, perhaps. Majestic is an adequate descriptor for something as large and indescribable as it is. A face of metal and concrete, yes, but also of fire. It belches thick, black smoke each time it opens its mouth to bellow, and its eyes stand open wide as small portals into hell. It sits in the center of the more familiar hell we've walked through. It does not react to us as we approach, except open its mouth and bellow the klaxon call. But I imagine it would do that regardless of our presence. And one by one, we fall to our knees. Some of us pray. Some of us prostrate. Self-flagellate, adulate. We do so until we and our faith is expended. Then, one by one, we stand and step into its open maw. That is why we've come here, isn't it? The machine god hungers, and only our flesh will do. It is its mercy that the process seems mostly painless. The sacrifices do not even scream when they plunge into the flames. Only a few hesitant remain at the end. And myself, though I do not consider myself hesitant. But I want to see. So we roll the corpses in one by one next, and after that, we jostle each other and threaten and barter until the last living follow in. Until finally, I am left with the machine god. In this moment, I know we are both unique. I am one of a kind by virtue of being the last of my kind. And it is the God we worship. With me, it will be over. Except, no, I don't think it will. The fires inside the machine god show no signs of quenching, and it is through them I see I am not enough. None of us were. We could not sate its hunger, because it was never possible. You'll never be content, I whisper through its roar. It does not listen, but why would it? I'm not even sure myself if the words are a curse, a eulogy for humanity, or mere prophecy. I know they are right, though. Then I throw myself into the machine god's mouth. I was right. It is painless. But the machine god hungers still.
Well, that was droll. I wonder why Aerith insisted on my seeing this. Perhaps a soul she shall never see. Well, it's not for me to know, at least not yet. Stay right behind me, or be left behind, mortal. A dungeon? A prison? The architecture is arcane in its making, almost as infinite as the Skurg. How very interesting. Is this a mortal's making? Ah, here we are. A soul in this musty, dank space. Personal prison.
Again, I'm sitting here, staring at the same dirty concrete floor again. Scrapes and bruises cover my arms and legs from my earlier struggles. The eerie echo of the dripping, dirty water in the corner of the room is taunting me. I can feel my anger growing every time a drop hits this filthy floor. Sinking my nails into my mud-stained green dress, I then tear my hands away from it and grab the plate near me and throw it against the wall, shattering it on impact and smashing the rotten food against it, sending glass and unknown sustenance across the side of the room. God damn it! Standing up now, wobbling in place, I move my long, tangled brown hair behind my ear and look around the room with my eyes now filled with fiery rage. What kind of sorcery shit are you pulling? I yell at the bars leading into the dark abyss of a hallway, no longer scaring me as it did before. 3 fucking times now! I know I made it out! How are you doing this? No response came from the intense darkness before me. My anger fueled my stomping as my feet painfully smacked against the concrete, sending echoes through the cells and the halls. Let me out! Now! I scream again into the darkness, wrapping my hands around the cold, rusted iron bars. Nobody is coming to help us. Nobody will ever come to help us. I hear the boy in the cell next to mine say, his voice quiet and full of hopelessness. "I'll send help once I get out of here. You've seen how close I've got." I respond, leaning against the bars, trying to get a good look at him, but only managing to see his dirty bare feet. "What do you mean?" he asks me, hiding a doubtful laugh in his throat. "All you've done since you've been brought here is sleep and then throw a tantrum. We're doomed." I have no clue what you're talking about. Just the other day I managed to break one of these bars off. You must have seen me running down the hall. Somehow I ended up back here, even though I managed to get outside. Here, listen. I'm going to get out, like I did yesterday. Turning away from the bars, I listen closely for a response from him, but his scoffs and then silence just make it clear to me that he doesn't believe a word I say. Ignoring his disbelief, I take the stool from the corner of the room next to a small school desk and drag it over to the wall. Climbing it, I stretch my arms up the wall to the same vent I escaped through yesterday, only to find more painfully cold concrete. "What? Where is it?" I yell, looking up and bringing my arms back down.
"Where's what?"
The boy's voice echoed from the other cell. The vent! It was here yesterday!" I stutter, almost falling off the chair.
"There's no vent in that cell. Trust me, I used to be in that one."
His annoyed voice echoed to me again. But it was here yesterday!" My eyes widened in panic, and I hopped down from the stool and flashed my eyes along the walls. But there was no sign of a vent anywhere.
"Lady, I suggest you get some more sleep. They're less likely to choose you if you're asleep anyway."
Standing in silence, I swallow hard and nod to myself, letting myself lie down in the middle of the floor again, curling up and closing my eyes. I wince as the floor wraps me in a cold, hard blanket of hopelessness. I just want to escape. I will escape. Opening my eyes again, I find my cell brighter than before. My eyes glistened as I saw a light shine through a brand new window, just big enough for me to fit through. Now is my chance. "Hey, there's a window here. Look, I'm going to get out and get us help." I call out to the boy in the other cell. No response. Standing there, in silence, I can only beg to myself and this empty, damp room that he's only asleep. I grip my hands into fists and breathe in, trying to calm myself. I don't want to think the worst. I turn my attention towards the stool, right where I left it. Looking above it, I notice that where the vent was is still covered by concrete. Maybe they covered it up while I was asleep? I don't know. But at the moment, my main focus is the window. I grab the chair and pull it over to the window. I squint my eyes as the light shining through almost blinds me, covering the blue sky behind the frame. I press my hands on the glass and feel the warmth of the sun that has laid upon it. My lips quiver at the sensation, and I lay my cheek on the glass. I'm going home," I whisper to myself, letting a tear of relief fall from my eye and down my cheek. I take a heavy inhale of this damp air and exhale just as heavily. Then, I back my head away and raise my hands and slam them into the window, easily knocking the frame out. I lean forward and watch as it falls down just an inch onto soft grass. Looking up, I see a bright blue sky, clear of any clouds. It looks almost artificial. I lean forward and let my head go out the window, feeling the clean air infiltrate my lungs. Strangely, there is no wind and no feeling of sunlight beaming down on me, but I don't care. I lift my body and lean onto the window's ledge. The hard pressure of the concrete windowsill sinking into my stomach hurts, but in this position, I'm able to use my feet to nudge myself up further and out the window. Stretching out my arms, I grab the grass and pull myself out. I feel myself hit the soft yet pointy grass and let myself roll onto my back. Yes, I'm out, I say, my smile as bright as my eyes as I look up at the blue sky, still clear of any clouds or sun. Quickly, I get to my feet and don't even dare to look behind me. One dirty and scraped foot in front of the other, I start to run into this plain, grassy field. I need to get away. As I run, I reach out. I reach out to something. I reach out, and then I'm back. Again. I'm sitting here, staring at the same dirty concrete floor again. Scrapes and bruises cover my arms.
Now this one does make me curious. What did this one do to earn such a fate? Who owns this prison? Many questions indeed, but they will need to be answered at a later time. Off we go. Don't dilly-dally, or I will leave you here. Now this is much more like it. A cursed city filled with the undead. The victorious city of Cho-Ren. I don't think they know what the word victory means if this is what they have wrought. Here comes our quarry now. The Guardian.
Lightning split the eternal night, illuminating the path between headstones. In the years I had been trapped in the cursed city of Cho-Ren, the darkness had never let the lightning show. I hoped more strikes would appear. The dead milling around seemed frozen by the sudden light. Even the shadowy wraiths that devoured the life from the living seemed frozen by the brilliance. I caught the outline of a crypt and hoped it was the right one this time. It was hard making my way along the path. My joints seemed stiff and swollen, from the storm, no doubt. I thought of my youth as I shuffled past the walking corpses, wandering mindlessly amid the graves. The sun was warm on our faces when we marched in gleaming armor for the Empire's glory. We were the victors at the Battle of Morrow and Constopolis. Then there was the bad one, Van Rekathon. I took a spear through the thigh, and still we fought, outnumbered, ill-equipped, and yet somehow the Emperor led us to victory. 30-1, and we survived, but not without our losses. Mirian, Thros, Balair, Kinathis, and many more brothers and sisters in arms died for the Empire's glory. If they could only see what has become of our great land, they would weep as I had wept for them, and how their sacrifice was wasted as the darkness fell upon the city. Another flash of lightning, and something stirred. The tomb stretched out along the hill. I could feel it watching. My hand rested upon my sword. It's half drawn, and the mist rose from the ground. Grayish tendrils swirled in a slight breeze. The walking corpses shifted in their routine movements and walked away down the hill. What could make these things move away from this place? I continued along the path, broken stones twisting away with each step, just like our fallen on many battlefields. I have to move slowly or risk falling among them. I have no wish to lay broken among the stones on the path where ghouls seek human flesh. The winds picked up, swirling my cloak as the first drops of rain splash against my face. Odd, this rain. I feel its impact, but it's not cold, warm, or wet. Phantom rain, perhaps, falling from the cursed darkness itself. We are robbed of even this comfort. I recall the rain on warm spring days with Chalier and Dren. I miss them terribly. But with the threat against the Emperor and the demands of the insane cleric of O, you do not take chances when a god threatens your people. It is well that the sorcerers were present when the attack came. Their ritual must have prevented the worst of the god's wrath. I was there at the ceremony's beginning, but I do not recall what happened. I have searched for something just out of my memories. I know it is mine, and I must have it back. This crypt calls to me. I feel a pull towards this place more potent than before. I feel strength returning to me, and I rush toward the tomb. The urgency is painful, as if some part of me has been ripped out and screams to be whole again. I do not understand why this should feel so real, yet it is what I know to be true. I run over the cracked and loosened stone of the path as they tear away from the mortar that once bound them together. The crypt seal is steel and mortar. I assault the door, tearing at the bolts that hold it, but they won't move. I throw myself against the entrance, armor clanging against the stone, and granite chips fly into my face. I fall to my knees, defeated, weeping for the thing that I wish most restored to me.
Did you think it would be so easy, Legionnaire?
I know the voice. I rise to one knee, saluting my emperor.
Your search has lasted long, my god. You have duties to attend to, yet you still search for the soul you gave me willingly.
I risk a look at my emperor. I do not understand why he wears a bone mask or how the eyes have changed to flames in the skull he wears. No, it isn't a mask. I see the skeletal arm sliding from his gilded sleeve. Gleaming through the torn, leathery skin of his once handsome face is his skull. The memories come rushing back to the ritual. The tokens he asked of us in allegiance to the Empire, the sorcerers and their blades. I lay my hand on the crypt again, feeling the thing inside calling me. My fingers trace the name engraved on the stone door. She. My ancestor's tomb. And an uneasy feeling settles in.
Yes, my warrior, you understand. It is hidden away where it will remain safe, as long as you obey.
He lifts his hand and the ring is there. The promise from one heart to another in honor and love. Within the golden band, the spark that is my soul glows softly. Then, the ring is gone. I feel the moment it leaves this plane and the anguish wells within me. What have we done?
You have duties to perform, Ginju Chi, at the gates. Find your way there soon, and this trinket will remain safe.
He says as he fades into the mist. My emperor, that undead thing hovering between life and death, in exchange for power, vanishes. I would tear it apart if I had the chance. I look at the reflection pool of my ancestors. and lightning strikes again. I see the rotting flesh on my face and the burning hatred for my emperor.
Oh, I can see why Aerith would like this one. So, has your curiosity been quenched? Are you yet satisfied? You're only coming along as a favor to... You know what? I don't have to explain anything to you. I must vanish from this realm to a place you are not yet ready. Now be gone, before I devour you, body and soul.
I think it's over here. Oh, look! X marks the spot. Jeez, we would have found this much faster if you hadn't been on the map upside down for the first 5 hours. Just dig.
This is just a bunch of junk!
Wait. Oh, there's a note here. Echoes and Enigmas. Goliath's Midnight Meanderings. Produced by Dungeon Studios. Edited by Michael Riley and Bailey Martin. Music by ASCII Orchestral and Ambient Music and Alexander Nakarata. Machine Gun was written by Michael Buck, performed by the Upright Man. Is this a fucking riddle?
Hold on, let me see. It's Personal Prison, written by Rita Phillips, performed by Sofia Stefanovic. Huh?
And The Guardian, written by Patrick Winchell, performed by Bailey Martin. Maybe the real treasure's hidden somewhere else. What's that on the back?
Let's see now. It says Michael Riley as Goliath, Carter Riding, and Michael Riley as credits guy. Whoa.
What?
How did it know?
I told you that map on the cereal box wasn't real. We just wasted a whole day for this.
Maybe the real treasure was the friends we made along the way?
I am going to kill you.
No, wait, please, don't.
Yep. Here comes death.